In this video, I'm going to show you how to create and add blog post schema markup to your Webflow project, and I'm going to show you how to do it without getting those date issues that you might be getting in the rich results test if you followed a more basic tutorial online. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you already have a CMS collection set up for your blog posts. If you don't already have that, you need to go and build that first before you come back to this video and add your schema markup. We're going to be using this tool by technicalseo.com. Essentially, it's a tool where you input the information you want and then it'll output the schema markup for you. So it's a really helpful tool in building out your schema markup. In this case, we'll select article as the type of schema markup we're creating, and the type of article we're creating is a blog post in this case. Then for everything else, we're just going to fill out placeholder text. I've already done that in this tab here, so you can see what it looks like, but we don't need to fill out anything correctly yet because when we take it to Webflow, we're going to be changing a lot of these to their dynamic field values rather than actually pasting in and doing schema markup for each individual page manually. So I'm going to copy this schema markup here in this script here, and then we'll go back to Webflow, go to the Pages tab on the left, go to our blog posts template for the CMS collection into the page settings, and then we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom to the custom code section, and inside the head tag, I'm going to delete the old schema markup and paste the new schema markup down the very bottom. Now that we have that there, we need to modify all of these placeholders to have the correct information. So the URL, I'm going to replace that with the URL of the blog post. And then I'm going to select this end bit there and replace that with the slug of the blog post so that every single blog post will have its own unique schema. And then in the headline, I'll replace that with the name. The description, I'll replace with the description. The image URL, I'll replace with the image URL. The author, I'll replace with the author's name. The author's URL, I'll need to go to the Webflow project or page again, and then copy the link for the author and then paste that in there and replace the author's name with the slug of that author. Author's slug. There we go. And then the publisher I've set as RankRise, which is my agency's name. The logo I'll replace with the logo URL. So I'll go up here and copy the image address and I'll paste that in here. And the date published and date modified, we're going to replace with the published date and updated date. Now, at this stage, if you saved and published like I am doing now, and you went to the rich results tests on Google, so let me go back. I'll leave a link to this tool in the description below, but essentially this is a tool available by Google to scan your schema markup on your page and figure out whether it's valid or not. If I were to test that URL right now without making any changes to the date, it would say that there is a valid item, but there are non-critical issues detected. So if we click further in and we find those issues, we can see down the bottom that there's an invalid date time value for the date published and the date modified, and the date time property is also missing a time zone. So the problem is that this date number here isn't one that's compatible with schema markup. This isn't one that they scan, right? It's not the universal format that schema wants to read. So what we need to do is output this in a different way that is schema compatible. What I'm going to do is go to Webflow, go back to our custom code and go to the published date. And then if we actually click on the drop down here, you'll notice that there's no actual way to update any of the date format, which is a problem, right? Because it's telling us that this is a wrong way to do it. So what we need to actually do is sort of a Webflow workaround where you copy this published date, then you open up a text editor, paste it in there, and then in here, you'll find this placeholder for the layout of the date. okay? And this is the incorrect date that won't work with the schema markup. So we're going to go ahead and copy this correct format here with the time zone and time in it, paste it in place of that old format, and then copy the whole bit again and paste it where we copied it from. We're going to do the exact same thing to the modified date. So we'll copy it into Notepad. Yeet. There we go. And then over here, we're going to copy the date that is schema friendly and replace it over the non-schema friendly date format. And then we're going to go ahead and paste it into the modified date in Webflow. Now it's going to show you this big red highlighted thing, makes it look like an error, but you can completely ignore it. Save, publish. And now if I have done everything correctly and we rescan the rich results test, it should not display any errors and it should show that date time completely valid. So you can see there's no errors at all. We scroll down to the bottom, it shows the correct published time, correct published date, and the time zone as well. If you found this video helpful, please leave me a like and subscribe. That would help a lot. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment or reach out to me and I'll try my best to help you out. Cheers.